Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's that time again. Another DVD Blu-ray updates continues. Today, on Air's Multimedia Reviews. Welcome back. Okay, first up, we're going to start with the Blu-rays now. Yes, I actually really pick up these Blu-ray sets recently at Walmart, and they were based about $10 for a piece, and I don't know, I just actually think there's more worth it versus the trade out version from some of the DVDs originally. The two ones I would actually want to trade out originally, I have them on DVD, and I want to mention the pick up them on Blu-ray because they were basically selling this so fast originally, and I had to really just pass that. I cannot pass that up originally. And I will venture quiet to get others of these sets originally and trade them out originally. First up, I want to basically talk about one movie that I particularly enjoy watching, and you know why I'm wearing the shirt originally. You probably know what I'm basically holding in my hand. None other than Superbad. Yeah, gotta love Superbad, don't you think? I love Superbad. Now, I actually had this originally on DVD originally, by the way, but I actually traded it out because I was very curious about this because not only it comes with two features extra discs, but it also gives all the content from the DVD and the DVD release. So by this is actually a pretty well awesome set. I know this is based on been reviewed already, but I want to talk about my thoughts about this set because I actually saw this originally and actually thinking, you know what, I really want to pick it up, but I don't know if I have the quite money. I'll wait until if they doing a selling um, whatever. If they're doing proper selling for the set, I could probably eventually pick it up. And the whole below I did originally. So I did wait for a little bit of a while, and it was going down for $10. So this version was actually pretty well worth it for a trade. So basically, we got the basic nice, good, originally cover art of the stars. Originally, I can't originally pronounce these stars who play in the movie, but it's actually pretty well good with the movie. And on the spine, we got nice originally. It is a 2-disc unrated edition, so they're definitely worth this. This is definitely worth version for somebody who wants to pick them up. And on the back, we got the we got the insert, you got all the behind, you got all the special features, and I have to say it is a 2-disc set. So basically this right now here. Yeah. So it's a 2-disc set, and the cool thing I like about this is that you get nice cover artwork on inside the disc, originally. But Superman is pretty well funny concepts of the movie that I enjoy watching because I used to think that as a basically for myself, I enjoy watching good typical comedy if it's any worth virtually that it's proper funny. Even if I'm not really laugh out loud, I still find that this movie pretty interesting to funny because it's just basically just a bunch of guys trying to have sex for the very first time. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, it's just basically just random guys who are trying to just get laid and everything and try to spend the last time as high school people, I guess you call it. But yeah, it's just an natural, this well-written movie version that really I enjoy watching, and I like it a lot. It's worth virtually for $10, and if you basically see this virtually at your local store, virtually like for instance like Walmart or maybe Best Buy, I'd like recommend to pick it up. Okay, next up is basically one movie that I used to have on DVD, and I'm happy to say I'm proud that I wanted to trade it out because I was actually really wise for saying that this movie was probably far more funny than originally than Superbad. But I don't know. I just think that a lot of people don't like it, and I don't think it's worth the watch. But I still find it pretty interesting to watch. What I'm talking about? Well, none other than Knocked Up. Yeah, Knocked Up. This is actually the unrated and the protection edition. Yeah, this is actually a pretty well interesting set because when I saw this originally for $10 at Walmart, I was thinking like, yoink, this did not ever thought. Just, yep, Just getting it. So I tried out originally this set. I tried out the DVD set, DVD for this one originally, probably over the summer, and I actually was really glad Richard got to pick this up originally because not only this because you get the unrated edition, you also get the unprotected edition, which means you get more stuff on this set, which is great. So basically, for everything else, Richard, it's just like really worth something, Richard. But I was recognizing, Richard, you get picture-in-picture, which you have the movie being played, and you have like a little bit square box, Richard, that shows off the screen, and then you see one of the actors who discuss about their ideas of the plot of the film. So by this, it's actually pretty well interesting because you got a ton of features on this set, which I'll get to that later, originally. And just it was just worth Richard for $10 to pick up. I don't know why it's so so much difficult for people to think that, oh, Blu-ray is so expensive. Well, if you wait for the sales and try to look at the price of a Blu-ray movie, you're probably going to spend at least about 10 or maybe $20 for one stinking whole Blu-ray set. I mean, you can buy it for cheap. Definitely for cheap. So get on yourself originally knowing that you're going to spend at least about just $10 or $20 for just a piece for one stinking movie that it had A, has high resolution, B, is very competitive for a trade out, and C, just worth your money to just spending. So what's a bit hard? So basically we got the nice cover art. I like it what it says originally, what if you got this guy printed. I mean, this is kind of like this, the actual same artwork they just showed originally in the poster board. I mean, this is actually the same um, um, basically artwork of it, and it's pretty well interesting. And on the spine, you just get a nice, there's a word in it knocked up. And on the back, if you look at Richard towards it, if we could focus, maybe towards a little bit, yeah, it shows picture-in-picture where you actually get the movie, if we could pull it, yeah, you get the movie, and you get the basically picture of one of the actors, which is just explain about their thoughts of the film. So that's pretty cool. And inside, there's no rigid cover art inside of it, so you just got nice, just a disc art, pretty well snazzy, nothing that much serious. But I found it pretty interesting because, the movie is pretty well funny. I mean, it just explains about if you were a guy who just basically having sex with a random stranger, or like for instance, if you're trying to basically just have sex with, if you're trying to have sex and trying to just trying to get yourself laid, that's fine. But in this film, we see the comments of the characters, especially with the female character. I cannot pronounce what the female character's name was, but we do see her basically being struggling, trying to sacrifice her life, her youth, and everything, trying to just be this type of mother figure, trying to raise this child, and she's about to get pregnant, which is pretty interesting because that's how we live in the world nowadays. Even if it's just maybe not really funny, but it's really well interesting to see, these characters really go on their lives and then to try to see how far can they go really by for anything to go. So yeah, worth Richard for something to really to pick it up and just just a lack of information knowing that this is basically well weight set because it's pretty well interesting. I will get to the features of the other two Richard eventually, but I want to talk about this DVD, well this this Blu-ray, I mean, and I have been seeing this Richard at so many times, especially on Blu-ray.com. I really want to have eventually want to pick this up because you know it's just probably the only action movie I kind of find pretty interesting, and basically, hey, it's involved with action, involves with this basically like, a sociopath killer who's trying to commit suicide with these people living in a bus. I mean, who basically are trying to stuck on the bus and trying to keep on driving. I'm of course talking about Speed, starring Keanu Reeves, I think David Huntman, and Sarah Blockman. If I pronounce her name right, I don't know if I pronounce it. But yes, this is actually the Blu-ray edition. As far as my knowledge, as far as I'm aware, on the DVD version, everything else on this set is cooperated on the Blu-ray set. So that's definitely worth a plus. So what I like about this set is that you actually get very contemplative waivers. And now I know this has already been talked about already, And I don't think there's really no wrong versus basically talk about it because, but you know the whole entire story. You see the Keanu Reeves star who you see Keanu Reeves character who is the LA police squad team who specializes in making sure that the bomb doesn't deactivate versus the people. Because in the beginning you see his character trying to defuse the bomb for people who are in that elevator and about to be exploded for the next couple of minutes or so. But what I like about in towards the beginning of the movie, we see Keanu Reeves trying to stop the bus driver from basically trying not to stop the bus, which is kind of been odd versus to see this movie because you see the characters all in basically in one group, and it's a very kind of interesting why that the villain is trying to torment this Keanu Reeves character more to understand how much he could basically take. I mean, it's just really an outstanding movie, really, and just one of the movies I enjoy watching. And as probably like I remember seeing this movie at I think it was on VHS, and I actually enjoyed it so much because A, it had very some really good characters. B, it was very kind of the first ever action movie I ever could watch, and it was just one of those kind of films that you just have to really just take a chance to really just sit down and just watch it. Very good, simple, good action movie. Even if it's not really action packed, but it's real interesting movie to just basically just watch it and actually enjoy it. So yeah, I actually enjoy it. So I don't think there's no problem with that. So basically, you've got the artwork of Keanu Reeves, got the nice get a nice visual of the explosion of the bus. Pretty interesting. Got the title of the Invincible Speed, and spine, and the back. Pretty much just a few just extras usually. Not that much usually. It does come with basically a few extras. I remember it's on the DVD which I just basically saw. And I have to say, on the side the inside, we just got just the recycle the Blu-ray cover with the nice artwork versus the same thing as well. So of the disc. So not so much serious. But what can you do? You just basically buying it for $10. I mean, it's $10. So what the hell? So basically, we'll start off with basically the first feature. Okay, on Superbad, you've got deleted scenes, extras of deleted extra scenes, gripper feed behind it, outtakes, line over omnipotent, cop, car conventions, ride along, ride along with Clark Conofis, the making of Superbad, the original table reading, 2006. The table reading is pretty well interesting because what they do is actually they have like this like kind of like a little kind of table reading of the reading of the script and everything. They're just basically just reading the script and actually playing the characters along with it, which is pretty funny and actually really just interesting to watch if you're that kind of curious about it. You also get Seth Rollin reads the first Seth Rollin read the first read of Seth, commentary and filmmakers and cast, exclusive look of the Pineapple Express. Now that version I will eventually we'll get to maybe some other time because I want to talk about that movie as well. And it's pretty well funny movie because it's really well hilarious and that's pretty well outstanding. And on this too, you got cast auditions footage, press junket meltdown, the music of Superbad, very well interesting to watch because what I like about the music of Superbad because all the music is incorporating very considerable well artists who you basically see so much in any kind of music video or anything like that. But it's pretty well interesting feature and very well interesting to check out. Everyone hates Michael Carter. The untold story. The untold true story. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting feature yeah, because I was kind of curious about do people in this kind of set really hate Michael Carter? I mean, he's a guy who's just maybe not the Hollywood namesake, but he was pretty much popularity. But I think the only thing I like about that featurette is that you get the real flavor of seeing the entire cast and crew just going hate on Michael. Just like that's pretty well interesting. Also, you got the sets of diaries, and much more. Yeah, they don't really show you that much of the instruments, and it's pretty well understood. So on basically on Not Up, you get feature commentary by writer, director, and producer, and separate the producer, star, and actor. You get deleting scenes, and you get delete and stretch of the scenes, and the actual cuts. Yeah, the actual cuts are pretty well interesting. So you get the uh, outtakes, line over random, bread over random, kids on the loose, finding best stone, director, director, directing the director, topless scenes, stripper conventions, first sex on camera, pretty well interesting. I haven't seen that much. Next, video diaries, raw footage, Kenyans and Kendrin, Entree audition, and much more. So yeah, there's not really much about these sets, about this one. They just tell you there's much more. I had basically watched a few sets of the Knocked Up and basically Superbad, but not much really. And then finally we go to Speed. We got commentary and directed by Jonathan Demme, commentary and by screenwriter Griffin, screenwriter and producer. Trivia track, track down scheme, the Dreadful trailer in high def. Yeah, the trailer is actually in high def resolution, so that's pretty cool. Search of content and personal scenes sketch, personal scenes section. Yeah, I actually pretty well never got a chance around to look at the special features on this set. I was too busy just watching the movie and seeing how it's well versus the seeing high def. But yeah, definitely these sets, these are basically worth for your money for $10 at Walmart, and they're just basically just worth something that you pick up because come on, it's just what what Zaron Isolite is telling you about, and many other people are telling you about. If you go his daily HD rents videos about how he's saying that you could basically buy Blu-rays, movies and Blu-ray pairs for about a low price. I mean, it just what's the harm? But yeah, I think people should just need to be more understandable when it comes of these movies basically be available on Blu-ray and actually be cheap and very available cheap. So definitely worth something to actually pick up. So next up, we're going to do another update that I really want to pick up versus eventually picked up versus at Hastings, and we'll get to do the review DVDs and Blu-ray reviews because I got this side right here needed one to review, and actually look at that out right away. So I'm kind of busy right now. I'm doing a video, so you don't mind. So thank you. Sorry about that. I'm just having a little conversation with my mother. But anyway, that will basically start off. We're going to continue up this more updates of that. And yeah, we'll hope to see you guys next time. So until then, thank you for watching. And sayonara.